Hey everybody, I'm Jessica Putnam-Phillips of Clayshare. Welcome into our Live at 5. Every week we bring you a live pottery broadcast from my studio in beautiful Vermont, which right now is the best time of year for Vermont. It's my favorite time of the year. It's fall foliage. Autumn is in full swing here. The colors are out of this world this year, and I have been enjoying every second of it because it doesn't last at all. It's only about 2 weeks, and then it's gone. So we have another week, and then it'll be over. But I am loving it in the meantime. So tonight we have a super fun broadcast. We are going to be giving away 10 luster or overglaze enamel sets from Duncan Ceramics. I have the names right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right here. 10 winners. And we're going to have a little luster Q&A session too. So those of you who've always wanted to know about luster, have never tried it, don't even know what luster is, I'm going to talk to you about that. Now the last few weeks I've done some tutorials showing you how to use the lusters, how to put them on your pottery. I had a kiln opening on Sunday? Can't even remember what day it was, where we showed some of the fabulous gold that we did in last week's live broadcast, which was on Friday. So we did that then. So I thought I would show you some of the lusters. I'll show you and tell you what you get in the prize pack, and then we'll give everything away. We're going to give it all away. So what does it look like? So this is gold luster applied to a red glazed planter. This is a little succulent planter. Now luster is a third firing. So you will glaze fire your piece, apply your luster, fire it again. So it is a third firing, and it goes to cone 018. That's the temperature I fire to. So it's a third firing at a much lower temperature. So here we have the example of gold. This is Duncan's Premium Gold on Amico Snapdragon. That's the color red that I'm using there. I also have an example of their Mother of Pearl luster. Now Mother of Pearl is a luster that can go on anything at all. It just gives whatever surface it's on an iridescent finish. So look at this. I don't know if you can see, I don't know if it's picking up the gorgeous iridescence. I also did it on this piece here. You see that? And so that again, you put it on the piece, fire it to 018. It's a third firing. You can put a gold piece in the kiln at the same time as you have a Mother of Pearl piece. Can easy do that. So this Duncan is premium gold. So the prize we're giving away is valued at $126.66, and we're giving 10 of them. So that's $1,266 is what we're giving away tonight. And the gold is their premium gold, which retails for around $70. It's pretty pricey, and here it is. So this is the Duncan Premium Gold. That's what you get. They also have a bright gold, which is in the $30 range that you can use. It's not the same. It's not as bright gold, right? It's funny, the bright gold isn't as bright as the premium gold. The premium gold is more of a yellow gold. The bright gold is more of a brassy gold, but it's still gorgeous. It's just not exactly the same. And this, yeah, I agree. The red planter was quite the surprise. You know, before when we put the gold on it, I grabbed this piece out of the studio because I was just like, I didn't love it. And I thought, well, what can it hurt, right? This is what happens. You put gold on things and it changes everything. It totally elevated it. So you get the premium gold. You also get a vial of the Mother of Pearl luster. It's a little bigger bottle, and that's what I have on this tray on the entire thing. So it gives like this luscious, lustery, iridescent, gorgeous finish to whatever you put it on. Here's, again, the Mother of Pearl. So you get this, and oh, here's another piece with gold too. This mug, we did this mug in the live broadcast last week as well. You got to really rotate it to see the gold. In person, the gold just pops out, but the lighting in here and the cameras don't always get it. And then the last luster in here is what's called white gold, or sometimes called platinum, and that's a silver. And you can see it here, these little silvery grenades on this plate here, and it's also on the edge. So that's the silver, or platinum is the white gold. So you get those 3 lusters, and then a bottle of essence. The essence is what you use to clean your brushes with, or thin the lusters down. Sometimes over time lusters get really gummy and you want to thin them down. There are other things you can use, but Duncan's given away the luster, the essence for the luster, and then they're also giving away this fabulous mop brush right here from Mother of Pearl and this gold brush. So that's the prize package that Duncan is donating for this September giveaway for ClayShare. So have I ever had a problem with Mother of Pearl and green glazes and glazes that have copper in it? I have not. No, I have not. But I suppose there could always be an interaction, right? So if you're finding out that one of your glazes interacts with something, there could be something in your glaze causing a problem to that. I often use Mother of Pearl on top of a clear glaze that has underglaze first. But again, you know, this dark green, I didn't have any issues with it on that. And I've done it on my Chun Blue. I've done it on all the Amico Celadons. Gold looks amazing. Mother of Pearl looks amazing on the Amico Celadons. All right, so I see there's a few more questions. I want to make sure I get all of your questions too. And what was the other thing I wanted to show you? There was one other thing. Oh, the rim of gold. Yes, this plate right here. So this rim I did entirely in gold. That's the premium gold. Look at how that shines and shimmers. And then there's some little gold dots on the plate. And the other plates have gold on it as well. So that's what we have for the prize. And I'm pretty psyched that Duncan stepped up and donated 10 of them. 10. 10! That's right. So we're going to go ahead and give the 10 away. And I'm seeing there's some questions about palladium. Yes, palladium is not a luster. No, that's a glaze. These are all lusters. They go on over the glaze. They're also called overglaze enamel. So overglaze or overglaze luster, because just like the name implies, it goes over the glaze. So it's a third firing. So it's different than some other products out there that are actually glazes that have a metallic finish. It's a little different. The gold, yes, so a very good question about the gold. Is it food safe? Now here's the thing. Duncan's premium gold is food safe. Duncan's Mother of Pearl luster is food safe. Other companies may not be. Older bottles that might not be made by Duncan could have lead or other things in it, but Duncan's does not. Duncan's is food safe. And I see a question someone asked if luster goes off. Honestly, if it's sealed up, it can last years and years and years. If you open it up and you find it really gummy, you can thin it down. You can use the essence from Duncan. That's what they're giving away in this prize pack. Or I often will use lavender oil to thin down my lusters if they're too thick. All right, do y'all want to win some stuff? And so I see more questions about palladium. Palladium can have a similar finish, yes. So that's an Amico glaze product. That is not a Duncan luster product though. And that's what we're giving away right now. And the lusters, I just want to let y'all know, food safe, these ones from Duncan that I'm giving away today. If you put them in your microwave, they will probably arc because they're real metal. So you keep that in mind. The other thing is you're not going to really want to put them in your dishwasher because it's a micro thin layer, and if you put those in your dishwasher over time it'll wear that away. So you want to take a little more care with these, but honestly it's handmade pottery. It's okay to hand wash your handmade pottery. It doesn't take much time to do it and it makes it last much, much longer. Alrighty, I'm ready. So we're going to give these away. I see there's some more questions. We're going to do questions after. We're going to do the giveaway, and then we'll have a Q&A session after, and then I will announce what October's giveaway is going to be, because you know, if you don't win the Duncan giveaway tonight, we got another giveaway next month, because we have giveaways every month, always. Sometimes 2 a month, sometimes 10. All right, y'all ready? First winner, and I just want to let y'all know how you can win. For any of our giveaways, if you go to clayshare.com and sign up for our emails, you're automatically entered. If you unsubscribe of our emails, like if you decide to unsubscribe from them, your name's no longer eligible to be entered because we have to pull from our email list. So just letting y'all know, if you've subscribed to our email list in the past and then said, oh, I don't want your emails anymore, you got to resubscribe, okay? because there's been a few people that did that and they found out afterwards that you can't do that. If you are a premium member of clayshare.com, you're automatically entered. You don't have to do anything. Easy peasy. All right, number 1, the first winner of the Duncan Luster Prize Pack. Oh, that's the wrong one. Guess what? I got a noise machine. I thought it'd be fun. There. Okay, maybe we won't use the noise machine. First winner of the Duncan Luster Prize Pack is Bethany Pepper. Bethany Pepper. You, my dear, have won yourself 3 lusters from Duncan, bottle of essence, 2 brushes, and a whole bunch of fun. All right. The noise machine came today. And I was having such a good time with it. I was like, oh, this is great. I'll use it for my broadcast. But it's a little obnoxious, so I don't think I will use it. We will save this for a private broadcast for my premium members when we have a very good time. We'll save this. Okay, guys? We'll do that later. All right. So the next winner. So you don't know if you're subscribed. If you went to clayshare.com and you subscribed to our email list, like you signed up for our emails, you're subscribed. If you get our emails, you're subscribed. If you're a premium member and you watch our classes on clayshare.com, then you are automatically entered. That's how you find out. Pretty easy. Okay, number 2, second winner is Maria Chapman. Congratulations, Maria Chapman. You have won yourself the Duncan Luster Prize Pack. So you're going to be able to luster all kinds of things and have a very good time. Now, I just want to put it out there. You don't have to watch this to win. These names were drawn. I announced them. After this is over, I will email everybody who won, letting them know that they did win. And then we will connect them with Duncan, and Duncan will send them their prize. I don't have them here. Duncan has all the prizes, and they will ship them out. So that's how the deal goes. The noise machine is fun. The noise machine is very fun. It is very fun. We'll play with that later, though, because I think it could be a distraction. Oh, yes, we could have too much fun with that. All right, third winner of the Duncan Prize Pack. Are y'all ready? I'm so glad they gave 10 away, though. Like, sometimes we do 2 or 3, but 10? That's pretty good. All right, ready? Third winner is Nell Pingree. Nell, congratulations, Nell. It could be Nellie. I have a cousin Nellie, but she has an IE, so I would think it's Nell. But if it's Nellie or Nell, congratulations, you have won. So there's three of the 10, 7 more to go. This reminds me of Clayshare Con. When we gave away 87 prizes. 87 prizes in 5 days we gave away. That was fun. We're going to do another Clayshare Con. I don't know when. I think it's going to be after the new year, though. I think it's going to have to, because we're trying to get everything together for that. So if you don't know what Clayshare Con is, go to claysharecon.com and check it out. It's all free. Oh, it was a whole week's worth of tutorials and giveaways and fun awesomeness. That was free. So you should check that out if you haven't yet. It was a blast. All right, fourth winner is James Lorbeck. James, congratulations. You, sir, have won yourself a prize package of 3 Duncan Lusters, a bottle of Duncan Essence, and 2 Duncan brushes. You are going to love them. All right. Now, I see some of you folks have never used Duncan glazes before, but wouldn't mind trying them. It's always good to try new things. Duncan makes these lovely lusters. They do also make underglazes and glazes. So if you haven't checked out Duncan yet, check them out. My local clay supplier carries all of Duncan's products. So I've used a few of them over the years, and I've been using their lusters for over a decade. I just love them. They're, I think, the best out there, but a little biased. Alrighty, another one. Woohoo! Okay. Here is the 5th winner. That means we're going to be halfway through the drawing, but there's still 5 more to go. I almost need a break. It's a little like a little halftime show. Ready? 5th winner is Carlene Holly. Carlene, congratulations. You've won Duncan's Luster Prize Pack. And I did talk to Duncan, and you know, often with our giveaways, the way it works is the sponsor stipulates the rules as to where they'll ship the prizes. And Duncan was generous enough to say they will ship outside of the US as long as the winner agrees to pay international shipping. Just because sometimes that can get quite expensive and they're willing to pay US shipping. So I know there was a few questions about international winners. So there you go. That's how that works. All right, 6. Number 6. So I see this. How many people are eligible to win? Well, 10 people are going to win. How many people are eligible? I don't know exactly. Like how many people have signed up for my email list and are premium members? That's a lot. But we're giving away 10 prizes. So that's a lot too.
11,000 on the email list.
Did you hear 11,000? That's a lot of people. But 10 out of 11,000 is a pretty good chance of winning. All right. Let's go ahead and draw the 6th name for the Duncan Luster Prize Pack. And it is Amanda Neal. Amanda. And you know, the reason I show the printed out little piece of paper is because sometimes I don't pronounce names correctly, and I want to make sure if you're like, that's not my name, but that's how I spell my name, but then that's your name, right? So there you have it. All right, 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more to go. Getting there. So sometimes we only have 4 prizes in a month. Whew. All right, we don't want to start at 9. Hold on, I got out of order. 7th winner. 7th winner is, wait, can we try this again? Ready? Is Christina Hernandez. See, I got the drum roll to work that time. Haha. Christina Hernandez, congratulations, my dear. You have won yourself Duncan's Luster Prize Pack. Woohoo! I need an Ed McMahon. I need a sidekick. I need someone here to be my I don't know, my funny man. I need somebody. I need someone here to do that for me. Kevin's running the computer and all that and doing that stuff. I need somebody else. I need a DJ. We're going to have to get somebody in the studio. All right. So the 8th winner of the Duncan Prize Pack is John Lynn Dittenhauser. John Lynn? John Ellen? John Ellen, maybe? This is why I show the spelling. But it doesn't matter if I say it wrong, because guess what? The email is correct. We will email her and she will know she won. Okay. Whew. 2 more. 2 more to go. Whew. All right. 9 and 10. And then we'll talk about next month's giveaway, and we'll have a little Luster Q&A and just pottery Q&A in general. Y'all got questions for me? I know you do, because I get so many emails and messages every day. So you can ask me now and I will answer it here live on the broadcast. All right, the 9th winner of the Duncan Luster Prize Pack is Joy Conley. Joy, congratulations. You've won yourself this lovely pack of Duncan Lusters and brushes. All right. So we have 1 more left. How did it go so fast? How'd that happen? All right. So just to recap, what are you getting? You're getting 2 Duncan brushes. You are getting the premium gold luster, the white gold luster, the mother of pearl luster, and a little jar of essence. Whew, that's a lot. And this is the last one I'm going to be able to give away for now. I think Duncan will come back on board and do another giveaway with us in the future. I have a feeling. So the 10th and final winner of the Duncan Luster Prize Pack is Susan Russell. Congratulations, Susan. And congratulations to all of our winners. A super huge thank you to Duncan Ceramics for sponsoring this amazing, fabulous September giveaway of 10 prizes. Wow, what a prize package this was. And if you didn't win, don't worry. There's another giveaway in October, so you have a chance to win then. The sound machine is a little dangerous, so I'm going to have to put that away because I can have way too much fun with that. So I'm going to take your questions about lusters, and we are going to talk about next month's giveaway. So next month we have partnered again with Clayscapes Pottery. You know, we work with Clayscapes Pottery a lot. They sell my line of glazes that I've developed, my Chun Blue, that's this gorgeous glaze here, my Cobblestone, my Lake Blue, and I have 2 new glazes coming out in October. They are Oribe, which is a beautiful grass green, and they are Cranberry, which is exactly what you think it is, a gorgeous cranberry color. So Clayscapes has so generously offered to step up and give away 10 prizes. So in October we have 10 more prizes, and that is going to be, each prize is going to be 2 5-pound boxes of glaze. So you'll get a 5-pound box of my Oribe and a 5-pound box of my Cranberry before you can buy them. So how awesome is that? You can get 10 pounds of glaze. 10 winners are each going to get 10 pounds of glaze. That's 100 pounds of glaze. So we're giving away 100 pounds of glaze in October. Now we also have a really great promo we're doing with Clayscapes that starts tomorrow, October 1st, and that is a way for you to save 20% off Clayscapes pottery glazes, and you can use the code JPP, that's me, Jessica Putnam-Phillips, so it's JPP October, all capital, JPP October. Put that in, save 20% off. Easy peasy. How awesome is that? So let's answer luster questions. So I see someone's asking, how many layers do you use with luster? You do 1 layer. You shouldn't have to do more than 1. You do 1 nice even layer. And if you missed my broadcast the last couple weeks, I've been putting luster on and showing you how to do it. So go back and watch those. They're available to watch on YouTube. You can watch them on clayshare.com under our live broadcast. If you scroll on down, you can see them there. You can watch them on the Clayshare app. So if you don't have the Clayshare app, go to your app store. Type in Clayshare, download it. Premium members get full access to all of our classes, but we have a bunch of free classes. You also can sign up for a 7-day free trial, which gives you access to all the classes as well. So the live broadcasts are always free. So these broadcasts that we do here, the weekly broadcasts, are free for everybody, so you can watch those there. We have the Clayshare Con on there, so that's free as well. And I have a bunch of my full-length pottery classes there for free that you can go watch. So there's a lot there. Check it out. And besides, our app logo is so cool. If you haven't seen the Clayshare app's little logo, you need to just look it up for that, because I'm pretty proud of our logo. I love it. It's fabulous. All right, so let's catch up with the questions, because I see there is a ton of them. So does Duncan make overglazes in assorted colors like reds, blues, and greens? Patty, so years ago in the 80s, there was a ton of companies making a lot of lusters in multiple colors. It has really scaled back. I have not found multiple colored lusters. Other people might have some sources. If you do, please chime in and share. Duncan makes a white gold, which is like the silver, the platinum here. They make their premium gold, which is their really bright yellow gold. They also make their bright gold, which is a brassier gold, the mother of pearl. Now, I put the mother of pearl on all kinds of things, and it really changes the way the color looks. So you might want to try that. They also, I don't know if they still have it, but they used to make a copper and a brass. And those are exactly what you think. Copper is a beautiful copper color. The brass is a much brassier version of the gold. So it's not nearly as bright. It's just brass, right? So, all right. So let's see. We got some questions. So Melissa's premium membership has laxed. You need to get it fixed. Yes, you do. Come back and hang out with us. If you have any issues, you can always email Kevin. I see he's typing it in, so you'll see it. So you'll have it there. And I see Charlotte has a question over, if you accidentally put, you click over on, there we go. If you accidentally put mother of pearl on too thick, That's a good question. So if the mother of pearl goes on too thick, it gets cloudy. You don't need to put it on really thick. You just swirl it on one layer. If you notice that your lusters are gummy, like tar, like really thick, you're going to want to thin them down. You don't want them watery, but you certainly do not want them gummy, because then they tend to go on too thick. And what happens with things like mother of pearl, for example, is it goes cloudy. Now, gold, it'll bubble. If it's too thick, you'll get bubbles, or you'll get areas that look really bumpy and not nearly as shiny as they were before. And that's true, again, with the white gold and the brass and the copper. If you go too thick, they look bubbly and they have a roughness to them. They're not quite right. Now, gold, if it's too thin, looks purple, like a purple smudge. So if you're not putting on thick enough, you just go ahead and reapply your gold and fire it again. And if you get gold where you don't want it, there is a product called a gold eraser. I don't know if I have mine. I sometimes keep it in my drawer over here. I don't know where it went off to, but it's a little stick that you just rub where the gold got on. And this is after firing, and you see, whoops, I got a little purple smudge somewhere. You just use that to sand it off, and it takes care of that. Super easy. So I see there's some questions about glazing having some pinholes. So Maureen, that often is a two-part issue. So you need to make sure you're bisquing hot enough and slow enough, right? Because you need to give your pieces time for all of the compounds, organic compounds to burn out and everything to happen there in your bisque firing. And then when you are glaze firing, you don't want to glaze fire too fast. And the reason I do a hold is it gives a chance for all those gases to come out through the glaze and escape. Because what happens is when your glaze has reached top temperature, it's as melty as it's going to be, right? And all those gases are coming out. And as they come out, they're leaving little holes. But the glaze will seal up over those holes and hide them. It'll heal over. But if you shut your kiln off without doing a hold at the end, it stops it immediately. And so then you sometimes have holes in your pieces. So what I would suggest is do your bisque a little slower. So if you're doing a fast fire bisque, you might want to do a medium to slow fire bisque. What that does is it lets the organic compounds and more of the gases get out during the bisque firing. And then when you do your glaze firing, try doing a hold at the end. I say 5 minutes to start with. I do a 10-minute hold. So just start with 5 and see what happens and see if that helps you a little bit. That should take care of most of that problem. Yeah, I see that Kevin had already answered that too. All right, so your speedball underglazes are really thick. So Marissa, have you been firing? Here's the speedball underglazes. If you're finding them way thick, you can thin them down with water. Yeah, go ahead. They should be thick, but not cottage cheese sour cream thickness. Like, you don't want it that goppy. You want it to be able to be brushable and smooth, but you don't want it super, super thick. I would say a nice heavy cream is a good thickness for your underglaze, but don't thin it down so much that it's really watery unless you want to do watercolor underglaze, which is exactly what I did on this piece right here. I thinned them down till they were the consistency of watercolor, and then I applied them to the surface, and it makes a very soft, lovely, like blush of a color, just a little like hint of a color. It's not overpowering at all. So if your piece doesn't ding when out of the kiln, does that mean it's not properly bisqued? No. Okay, so you're talking about this. Hear the ring? Put it up to my mic. Hear how that rings? If it doesn't ring, so if your piece is glazed, because when it's bisqued, it won't really ding. It's after it's glazed, it'll ding. If you're trying the ding on a bisque, it doesn't really do it because the clay is still porous. It has to seal up better. So what we're hearing, that lovely resonance that we're having, it's this sound waves are traveling, and because there's no cracks or chips or dings in this pot, it's making that sound. If your pot is cracked, it won't make that sound. If your pot is chipped, it won't make that sound. Let's try this one. Hear that? Hear that ring? If your pot is chipped or cracked, it'll be more of a dunting sound, like a dong. It won't be this beautiful ring. You can play it all day long. Play a little song on your mug. Is it bad to do a bisque at 06 rather than 05? It is not, Deborah. Not really. It depends on the clay you're using. So some clays, like Georgie's dark chocolate trail mix clay, is a cone 5, but it could be a cone 4 clay. You could probably easily do an 06 without a problem in that. The B-mix that I use, you could biscuit 06. Sure, I've done it before. In kilns that, not my L&L, but other kilns that didn't get the temperature, I've bisked at 06, been fine, no pinholes or anything. Yeah, that's not really a problem. All right, so Debbie says she just was given a box of old ceramic supplies. Oh, you're lucky. That's like Christmas. And there are tons of old bottles of the old lusters and metallics and mother of pearl. You hope they're usable. Yeah, you post pictures to the page to see if anyone knows info. So my suggestion with those, Debbie, if you can see the label, go online and see if you can find the manufacturer. If it says it on the label, go search them up. Try to find the ingredients. Some of the older lusters, those metallics, might not be food safe. So that's one concern you want to keep in mind if you're going to use old things that you get secondhand. Maybe just keep it to the surfaces that don't have food. My other suggestion would be to try a test firing. Take a little tile that's clear glaze that you have in your studio, or just a little piece that's finished in the studio, and just dab a little bit of your colors on, and then do an 018 firing and see what happens. It's a good way to find out. So some of these products are from companies that have gone out of business years and years ago. But yeah, our Clay Shares group on Facebook and our Prime group for premium members, they are so good. Like, so much useful information is in there. Put it there. Somebody will help you. You'd be surprised. We have people who've been making pottery for over 40 years that are Clay Share members. So they might know something. Because I've only been doing it 20. They got me beat by 20 more years. So can you thin the mother of pearl luster with water? Ooh, that's a good question, Heather. Do not thin your lusters with water ever. So that's just, a lot of people don't know if you've never used luster before. You do not want to thin them with water. What you want to do is thin it with either something like the Duncan Essence, which I have here, or I use lavender oil to thin my gold down. You could use lavender oil in the mother of pearl. I would be more inclined, honestly, to use Duncan Essence in my mother of pearl, but you could use an oil, an essential oil. Now, I've had a few people ask about the lavender oil. Does it have to be lavender oil? I haven't tried others, but it doesn't have to. You could test other oils out and see if, now these are essential oils, by the way. That's when I say lavender oil, I mean lavender essential oil. So, yes. And so, do I use cones for my bisque fire? I do, but not everybody does. It just depends on, the person who's firing in their kiln and what they're comfortable doing. I do cones in my bisque because I want to make sure my top shelves and my bottom shelves are firing evenly, even in my bisque firing, right? Now, sometimes when I fire my little doll kiln, my baby kiln, it's a little kiln. It can be hard to get the cones in there. So sometimes I don't use them in the little kiln. I try to, but in my big kiln, I always use cones. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, it's a good question, Catherine. So I see Kevin is answering it for you, but I'm going to answer it for everyone. So Catherine has the question, can the same bottle of mother of pearl, so say you got this bottle of mother of pearl, can you use it on low fire and mid fire pottery? And the answer is yes. You could use this on pottery that was fired to 04, cone 5, and cone 10, because the mother of pearl luster firing and all luster firings only go to cone 018. So you can put an earthenware piece in with a cone 10 porcelain piece. Both can have mother of pearl luster on it because they're going to go in that kiln, and the kiln's only going to 018. So yeah, you can totally do that. Put them all in and fire them at the same time because they're only going to 018. Yep. You can even use pottery you've bought in stores, like mass-produced pottery. When I was in France, a bunch of the yogurt companies would sell the yogurt in ceramic little jars, cute little ceramic jars. And one of the residents there did gold luster on one of the jars and put them in the kiln to fire it, and it worked great. So it's amazing what you can put luster on. If it's ceramic and it's glaze fired already, you can luster it. Never know what it's going to look like until it comes out, but you totally can luster it. So so I see that some questions on the watercolor effect for the picture here that I did. Yeah, so this is actually my Mishima technique where I do an inlay carving and then I go back and watercolor it after it's been bisque fired. And if you go check out my Mishima class, or I did do a live watercolor pottery class too. So you can check those both out and learn how to do this inlay technique and also learn how to apply your underglaze in this watercolor effect. All right, so let's see if we got more questions. So many questions. That's okay. There's a lot. So what is happening if Georgie's zinc-free clear is crazing? So Terry asked that question. So if you're getting crazing, it's a pour glaze fit to clay fit. So I don't know what clay you're using. The other thing it could be that if you fired your kiln too fast and cooled it too fast. Too fast of a cooling can cause crazing and dunting. And that's where, you have fractures in the surface of the glaze. And crazing is like lots of little cracks. Dunting is when the actual piece will break into chunks, like it's severe crazing. So crazing is just like that little, very decorative cracks all over the surface. But if it's happening, it's usually there's a fault. And dunting is just the bigger version of that, more extreme, where the pieces will actually like crack into chunks, sometimes 4 or 5 pieces, sometimes just in half. So I would say it's a couple things, possibly your clay glaze fit. If you've used this clay and glaze before and you haven't had any problems, then I think it might have been the firing. So would the mother of pearl or gold burn off at a higher temperature? They will, but they might not burn off completely. You might be left with some shadow smudges, especially with the gold. So just keep that in mind.
A lot of people have been asking if they can go to like mid-fire temperature.
Yeah, don't. No, lusters don't go. So here's the thing. There's an order of application with things in pottery. And so you have your glazes, and you fire them to the glaze temperature, right? Put your glaze on. Fire it to cone 5, like I did on this piece here. And it comes out glazed, and I want to add gold to it. Then you apply your gold, and you put it back in the kiln, and you fire it to 018. You can never fire this hotter than 018. I mean, maybe you go to 022 and the gold will stay. But once you start going hotter than that, you're going to burn your gold away. Same thing with the mother of pearl and all the lusters. So if you want to do anything that's a higher temperature than 018, don't put your lusters on first. Do that other thing first, then put your luster on after. Meaning if you're going to make laser decals, your own laser decals, that I fire to 05, so that's another firing. And then after that, I put gold on. So that comes first. It's not that confusing with the decal firing. Go check out my laser decal class and I explain how to do that. And I think I even talk about in the luster class how to do that whole process too. So you can do that. You've applied too much kiln wash on your shelves. So Catherine, it's flaking off and breaking off. What you need to do is if it hasn't been fired yet, I would just take them out and I would use a putty knife, like a metal putty knife, wear a respirator and scrape that all off. Scrub that all off if you need to, scrape that off. If you fired it and it's hard on the surface but still flaking off, you're going to want to sand it off. And you can use a thing called a rub brick to sand it off to get the really, Kev, you want to grab my rub brick? It's over with my kiln posts on the shelf there. So a rub brick, R-U-B, brick. It's sold in the masonry department of your home supply stores. This is what it is, rub brick. And you use it to rub the kiln shelf off your shelves if it's already fired on. Also use it to grind off glaze. Now, if your kiln wash is really being stubborn, you might have to grind it off, but it shouldn't be. It should come off. But as long as it's not chipping off in chunks and cracking off, honestly, I just keep going with it. But if it's coming off, then that's a problem. Yeah. So you made a little cup for a friend that you're going to put some gold on? I think that's what that question was. Gold elevates everything. It really, really does. So does Clayscape stock the Duncan lusters? Rachel, they don't currently, but I don't know if they're watching, but they should, right? Clayscape's pottery, you guys, you should really carry Duncan lusters if you don't yet. They should. I actually talked to them about that, and maybe they will. I would love for them to do that, and because honestly, lusters, I buy mine from Vermont Ceramic Supply, but they are a small business run by a couple in their late 70s. They are cash only and they do not have a website. So Vermont Ceramic Supply carries Duncan lusters, but you got to drive there and pay cash or check to get your supplies. Not everybody can do that, right? So online, I've bought my Duncan luster from Amazon, and I think the ceramic shop maybe. There's one other place I needed gold once, and I bought it and got it shipped Sheffield Pottery. That's where I got it, Sheffield Pottery. So those places do carry it. Don's watching. Don, you guys don't have Duncan lusters, but maybe would you like to carry it? I think there's a few folks that would be interested. If you all want some Duncan lusters, you could email Don at Clayscapes Pottery. Am I killing him? I know. You could email Don at Clayscapes Pottery. Go to clayscapespottery.com to find out information on how to contact them. And you could say, hey, Don, I want premium Duncan gold luster. I want mother of pearl luster. And I bet if you tell him what you want, he can put an order in and get it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to cause trouble. But, you know, we all got to get our luster somewhere. And I know Clayscape ships internationally, and they have a great website for online ordering. Yeah. So you use high fire Potter's Choice glazes and you used to get pinholes a lot, so you started sanding your pieces. Will that help? Not really. It's not so much the sanding that's causing the pinholing. What's happening with pinholing, as I mentioned a little earlier, it can be two different things, but sometimes they work together to cause those pinholes. So you might want to do a bisque fire that is slower, right? So it'll take a little longer, so you have more time for all of those organic compounds to burn out and those gases to burn out. Also make sure you're bisque firing hot enough, right? So if you're firing to 06 and you're getting a lot of pinholes, maybe bisque fire to 05 or 04 and see if that helps. The other thing is when you glaze fire, you want to make sure that when you're glaze firing, the glaze doesn't seal up as the gases are coming out at the top temp of the kiln. So you might want to do a hold, like a 5 or 10 minute hold. Now I do have a little something I want to toss in there that's a third thing. Sometimes when you have pieces that have a lot of texture and you're doing brush on glazes, sometimes there'll be little air bubbles that'll sort of pop as you're brushing it on, and you don't realize there's not glaze there. So sometimes that happens. And that can be rectified easily by making sure you pay attention when you're brushing on your glaze, that there's not areas that are unglazed, and doing that hold. That hold really seals things up in the glaze fire and takes care of a lot of things, I have found. Yeah, Denise says, slow down your bisque. That's right. I know everybody's in a hurry. I know we have a lot of stuff to do in life, but I promise you, if you do I do a slow bisque. I do a 3-hour preheat on my bisque fire, and it's a slow one. So when I start a bisque, I just know it's going to take 2 days before I can open that kiln up and glaze those pots. And I can show you, the proof is in the pottery, I don't have pinholes. Like if you see my kiln openings, if you watch what I do not have pinholes. So, right? I mean, all I can say is, I'm not saying if you do every single thing I do, you'll get the exact same results, but if you're doing similar to what I'm doing, you'll get similar results, I would think, right? It just makes sense. But, you know, if we look at this piece here, if there was a pinhole on the surface, you would see it. Look at that. That's the smoothest surface. There is not a single pinhole anywhere to be seen. And this is an Amico glaze right here. And you can see there's no pinholing at all. So, you know, it's really a lot of times trial and error for those things. Some clay, if you are firing a clay that's rated cone 6 to cone 10, and you're firing at cone 6, you're probably going to get some pinholing, because really that clay needs to go up to cone 10. It's really a cone 10 clay. I always tell people, make sure you're firing to the top temperature, the glaze firing of whatever clay you're using, and that will help too. So that's a little tip I got for you guys. So is there a website that sells used pottery equipment, slab rollers? So Catherine, there's not a website I'm really familiar with. Some, like my local clay supplier, will have little cards and notes stuck up on their bulletin board who's selling what. Now online, if you go on Facebook, I know that Crystalline Hess has a page, Use Pottery Equipment. She has a group, a Facebook group. And I don't know if she's here watching. She's sometimes here, but if you search on Facebook, she's got a really good used pottery equipment group. People post from all over, and you can find lots of used equipment there. Where else could you post? I mean, you can always post in our public clay sharers group in search of, if you're looking for something in particular. Sometimes you'll find something. You know, a lot of times people will contact their local clay supplier because they might have something, so check with them and see what they have. But if anybody knows of a person, the Glazer Ceramics, about colored luster. Oh, I need to check out Glazer Ceramics. Hold on. I need to take a note right here because I won't remember. Glazer Ceramics. My life is so busy, if I don't write it down, it'll never get done. I'm checking that out too. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara, for that. I will check them out. So if anybody here knows of a online source for selling pottery equipment, post it up there. Craigslist sometimes, but it's not a dedicated pottery site, is it? If you use Cone 10 clay, do I still bisque to 04? Yes, Amy. Yes, you do. Yep. You still bisque to 04. I know you might think you go hotter. You don't have to. No. I actually know people who fired a Cone 10 that bisque to 08. It's what they do. I don't know, but it works for them, right? So it just depends on the clay you're using, and there's always such a wide range of bisque firing temperatures and glaze firing temperatures. The key is to find what works for you. The key is to find the clay you like the best, learn how to fire it correctly, what temperatures it likes to be fired at, and find out what glazes it likes. Because I know some glazes don't work on B-Mix that I use, and I know some glazes do. So it's just trial and error. So the glazes you see me using are glazes that do work. So you know if I'm using it, it's a good glaze. There's never been a better time to be a ceramist than now. You are 100% right. Yep. Right now, the pottery world is exploding. There is pottery resources everywhere. So much stuff to be found. And I think a lot of it is because people have always wanted to try to make pottery, and they didn't think they could. But now, sometimes we're home a little bit more right now, so we have time to devote to things that we can do at home. And making pottery is something you can easily do at home. That's what I teach on ClayShare. I mean, that was the whole premise of me starting ClayShare 4 years ago now, because I was doing YouTube videos, I was doing live broadcasts, and so many people wanted more that I decided to start ClayShare and make a school, online school for pottery. So you've got virtual pottery classes that you can watch anywhere, anytime on just about everything. And because I do these live broadcasts and I listen to you and I get your feedback, I'm always making new classes based on what you want. So we have members who will ask for a class and I'll make it happen. And you'll often see that, you know, by popular demand, you all want to know how to make this. So I did it for you, so now you can make it. So I do agree. I think right now is the best possible time to be a potter. Yeah, there's so much out there. All right, so let's see. If you fire to the highest temp, the clay is rated. Why do I fire B-Mix Cone 5 instead of Cone 6? Because B-Mix is actually Cone 5. That's why. So most people think the Laguna B-Mix 5. So it's called B-Mix 5 because it's Cone 5. It's actually a Cone 5 clay. You can push it to Cone 6, but it's not. It's a Cone 5 clay. So you don't have to take it to 6. You can go to 5. And that, my dear, is why I fired a Cone 5, because it is a 5 clay. I used to use a different clay years and years ago, and I fired to Cone 6 with that clay. But since I started using B-Mix, I go to 5. And you know, you really want to go to your clay's top temp. Now, you can push it to 6. What happens when you go hotter than you should with your clay is you get this thing called bloating. And that's where you look like you get, I don't have a piece that has it, little blisters under the surface. And that's because you fired hotter than what that clay can handle. And the clay is actually starting to bloat getting blisters and starting to break down. So you can go to cone 6 with B-Mix, sometimes 7, but things get a little dicey. But 5 is where Laguna B-Mix 5 without grog should go to. But you can go to 6. It's up to you. I know, Maria, 4 years ago, I know. So our 3rd anniversary was back in June. Yeah, it was June. So we're on our 4th year now. Started in June. I can't believe it either. It's crazy. But time goes fast, doesn't it? So much. You have a lot of purchase plates with knife marks. Can you refire them with a mid to high fire glaze? So Sharon, if you know what temperature it was fired to the first time, you could get a glaze that fires to that temperature and fire them again. But if you do not know, then I would say no, you cannot refire them. It's because a lot of plates, everything fires to different temperatures. If you fire that too hot, you're going to get that bloating and possibly slumping. Your clay could actually collapse if you go too hot. So sadly, if you buy commercial pottery, you really can't fire it again. But you could put luster on it and fire it, but that won't stop those knife marks. They'll still be there. Yeah. All right. So we have, oh, I see. You don't understand how you say fire to cone 5, but so high, almost 6. Can you tell me which number of the cone 5 range to choose to fire at? So cone 5 is, temperature is 2167 Fahrenheit. That is cone 5, 2167. So if you go hotter than that, you're going hotter than cone 5. You're going up towards cone 6. Now when you buy your clay from the manufacturer, it'll say on the box what temperature you should fire it to. B-Mix 5 is a cone 5 clay. So you can fire it to cone 6, but the manufacturer, it's a Miller clay, B-Mix is, and it's been around for a long time. It was with a company, not Laguna, before, and now it's with Laguna. They bought out Miller, and it's an amazing clay, and it really looks lovely at cone 5. Looks good at cone 6 too. So if you use cone packs in your kiln, though, you'll know what temperature you got to. And if you haven't seen my cone pack broadcast, that was a couple weeks ago. We did a cone pack broadcast. I also have classes on using cone packs in your kiln, so check those out. All right, so can you visit me in Vermont? My studio is not open right now. I see there's a few people. Yeah, the studio is closed. I'm now a filming and teaching studio. I'm not really a store anymore. I am Columbus Day weekend, probably gonna do I'm gonna do a tent sale Columbus Day weekend. Basically, if you're driving by my house Columbus Day weekend, there's gonna be tables outside with pottery on it for sale. But coming in the studio, if everybody's social distance, Vermont still has the mask rule, so you'd have to do that. But my studio's just not open. I have had members who were visiting the area that have arranged to stop in with me, but I am not open because I'm often filming. Like I was filming today, and if somebody just walks in the door while I'm filming, they're going to be on camera. They might like that. Could be fun. All right. So it's 6:01. We're going to wrap it up. Congratulations again to all of our giveaway winners. Tonight on our private broadcast for premium members, we're going to be making large platters because the holiday season is just around the corner. We're going to make a 17-inch long by 13-inch wide platter, perfect for the holidays. So we're going to do that in the private broadcast. Be sure to check out Clayscapes Pottery to save 20% starting tomorrow with the code JPP October, all capitals. And we'll have more info on the giveaway 100 pounds of glaze coming up. And I do want to do a little shout out to Doug Peltzman, who's going to be teaching a class. He's going to be teaching a virtual workshop for ClayShare in November. So it'll be a two-parter, and information will be going up this week on that. And then our newest ClayShare online tutorial, pinch pumpkins, or pinchkins as I call them. So you can go check this class out, learn how to make these if you've never made pottery before. This is a great class for you. This is a nice intro to pottery right here. It's also a wonderful class for kids. So if you have little ones in your life or not so little ones, want to learn how to make pottery, come check it out. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Again, a huge thank you to Duncan for sponsoring the giveaway. Everyone take care, and I will catch you next Wednesday. Maybe we'll be glazing. don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Bye, everyone.